Now I know a lot of you are salty. But Saki ain't the first. I get you. I understand. But you just gotta have faith. You gotta believe in me. You gotta trust me that I know what I'm doing. When I really don't, honestly. But, you know, and what I want to just explore every avenue of story that we can before getting into the main meat. The main meat! You know what I mean? That's the plan! It's a fucking plan! It's not a good plan, but it's a plan, so... Let's figure everything out, and then we'll jump right in. There was no good opportunity to let go, so I ended up coming all the way to school holding hands with Saki. It'll probably be fine. That optimistic wish naturally didn't come true. What? The fuck? Tetsuya started talking to me even though it was the middle of class. He was probably trying to talk in a hushed voice, but it wasn't very quiet. What do you mean? I didn't have much energy to deal with him. Plus, like I said, it was the middle of class. Oh, you little scamp. Tetsuya made as if to poke at me with his elbow. His misunderstanding was making my head hurt even more. Had he heard this? How did he know? Hey. Not really, I think. Don't siblings hold hands all the time? At least, well, not when they're this age, but younger? He made it sound as if, like, he heard it from somebody, but now he was getting pretty specific. Had he been watching? No, in fact, I turned her down in my dreams. I'm telling you, it's not like that. Oh, okay, I'll shut up now. Who are you? Whoa! Whoa. Hello? I was about to apologize when my vision started to get murky. Not good. Even though I was holding myself up with my hands, I can't summon up any energy. Huh? Oi, Toru! Oi, Toru! Is it finally all just taking on a super toll on me? And Tetsuya's rare, panicked voice sounded like it was coming from a long ways in the distance. And then when my vision went black, dude, kicking it off right away, huh? Jesus. What? Oh, God damn it. Do you, what? Do you have the ability to just fucking knock me out whenever you want? And just put me here and be like, hey, what's up? I heard the sound of doors closing behind me. Before I knew it, I was standing in that room. The usual color scheme, as well as the smell of black tea, sweet pastries, and a hint of potpourri or something. Since the smell of roasted honey and forest weren't present, I felt pretty calm, even though I was in a dream. When Maya was around, for some reason, the smell of those nightmare flowers got really strong and made me dizzy. Or maybe Maya was the source of that smell. Yes. Well, that aside... What are you doing here this time of day? You know, I'm trying to be in school, trying to have a good time with my life. As I soon realized I was in that room, or as soon as I realized I was in that room, I met Alice's gaze as she stuffed a piece of pie into her mouth. She froze in place and looked at me. She was like a kid who'd been caught snatching food. I mean, why don't you go ahead and swallow that before talking? She nodded and began to chew the pie in her mouth. I plopped myself down on a spot on the sofa. I leaned back against the back and looked up at the ceiling. A deep sigh spilled out from my mouth. You know, I'd rather just return to my actual life. Sure, but I can't help being tired. I sat up and massaged my brows. No matter how tired I was, I didn't want to keep acting so pathetic in front of someone whose origins I didn't even know. I somehow roused myself and sat up somewhat straight.
お疲れ。ってなんかあったの？
Is there something strange about me being tired after being dragged into dreams literally every single night? You guys were wondering where Alice is, and well, here she is. Well, maybe I was the only one coming to this room, so I wasn't exactly being dragged, but still.
まあそうだよね。トールは私にはない事情とか抱えてそうだし。
So I'm just going to assume nobody brought me here, and I just passed out in the middle of class, or right before class started. I accepted the tea she offered me, and remembering those circumstances she didn't have, let out another sigh.
うわ、暗っ。ほら、もっと元気出さないと。
No, my life is in shambles. It's not that easy. And why are you so cheerful? Aren't you worried? Was I the only one that had become involved like this?
不安って？
Jesus. Since we're here, we might see a dream like we did with Saki's recently.
隠してることを夢に見たり、トラウマめいた相手に会ったり、それをトールたちに見られたり。
Alice made a sour face as she held her cup with both hands. Don't you think that might happen? I think that might happen.
まあ、サキちゃんの夢を覗き見してしまった以上、同じことをされても仕方ないとは思うんですが。
I see. Can't be helped then, huh? Did can't be helped really apply to dreams? Maybe normally, but when you could alter it as you please the way I could, it didn't seem like that. Come to think of it, Saki remembered having the dream, a bit vaguely.
ということはつまり、ここに来てるのが全員トールの妄想の産物じゃないってことが証明されたわけね。
It seems like it. That does not seem to be the case. At least Saki wasn't. That just meant Saki and I had the same dream.
私だってちゃんと本人ですよ。トールの望んだ妄想の美少女なんかじゃありません。
Listen, you're like a mystery, so what am I supposed to think? Unfortunately, that has yet to be proven. Alice looked dissatisfied. Just because Saki and I had shared a dream didn't necessarily mean that Alice existed somewhere else. Do you like really have like a body? You are a strange girl, aren't you? What?
いや、なんと言いますか。確かに起きている間の記憶がないというか、気づけばいつもこの辺にいると言いますか。
I don't like that. That's weird. That'd be frightening. What do you mean you have no memories of when you're awake?
何その目。だからって、トールの妄想が生み出した美少女じゃないんだから。
It's awfully suspicious considering you don't remember anything when you're awake. Don't call yourself a beautiful girl. I mean, she knows. She is a beautiful girl. She knows what she's got.
そっち？論点そっちじゃないと思うんだけど。だいたい私がトールの一部だったら、こうして話してるのとかも一人芝居だよ。
Yeah, that would mean I'm even crazier, wouldn't it? I'm pretty crazy. She suddenly looked at me with a pitiful looking gaze.
それって結構寂しくない？
Yeah, well, a one-man show is pretty much what a dream is, if you think about it. And unfortunately, I was used to that.
そうだけど、だったらそうじゃなくて、私もサキちゃんみたいに外から来た人って思っておく方がいいんじゃないかなって。ね。ね。
I do get what you're trying to say. Despite what I was saying, I never once thought of or treated Alice as if she were just a construct of my dreams. The main reason I thought this way was because it was easier, just as Alice had said. But I wasn't completely certain that Alice wasn't a delusion, unlike Saki, but I had no intention of telling her that. But Alice, looks like you were elegantly eating your pie and such before I came here, so...
大変美味しゅうございました。
Uh-huh. If you have a body, then what are you doing sleeping at this hour? I could ask you the same question. Alice, who had been reaching for some pumpkin pie. Oh, it's pumpkin pie? Bruh. Suddenly stopped, much like a toy whose batteries just ran out.
なんででしょうね。ってトールはそっちだって来てるじゃない。
Listen, I'm tired. I got a lot of shit on my mind. Like I was saying, I collapsed earlier from either lack of sleep or more likely from fatigue.
じゃあ私もそれで。いや、倒れてはないかもしれないけど、疲れてついつい居眠りしちゃったんじゃないかな。多分。
I bet you're in class or some shit and you just fell asleep. Like, probably didn't really tell me anything.
まあまあ、トールみたいにひどいことになってはいないっぽいから大丈夫だって。ほら、ね、はい。
As if trying to win me over, Alice places a slice of pie on a plate and offered it to me. But I thought you didn't have any memories of when you're awake. Missy. I accepted the pie. The color was a yellowish orange, and it had roasted pumpkin seeds on top. Looked pretty good.
私のことはいいから。それより、トールこそ倒れたって大変なんじゃないの？
Kinda. But I feel pretty confident I'm okay. Well, it's not like this is the first time, so I think it'll be fine. Although I feel bad for the people around me. They're probably freaking out. I answered as I took a bite of the pie, but Alice seemed to think I had answered half-assedly and grew sullen. I'm used to it. Back when I first started having lucid dreams, I collapsed all the time. It's cool. Like, that's not something you should be used to. But Alice was unconvinced. She stood up from her chair and walked over to me, putting her face near mine. Hold on there. Before I could ask what she was doing, she touched her forehead to mine. Oh, Alice's face was right in front of me. It was rare for someone besides Saki and Maya to be this close. I didn't know what to do, so I didn't really move. I could tell my face was turning red.
やっぱちょっと熱あるかも。誤差かな。私体温低いしな。
Alice, it doesn't help that, you know, you're a beautiful girl putting your head on my head, right? Despite my confusion, Alice removed her forehead from mine. Why did the girls around me defensively feel my temperature like that?
慣れてるからって、いつも同じだとは限らないでしょ。もしかしたら疲れてるとこに風邪とかひいたかもしれないんだし。
I'm telling you, it was nothing like that. If I had gotten a cold, Saki wouldn't have let me even leave my apartment unless it was an emergency.
まあ、今日は本当に疲れてるだけみたいだし、寝れば良くなるかな。
But even if I did have a cold in reality, that didn't necessarily mean I'd have one here. And I hadn't noticed that her body temperature was low at all. There was no guarantee that I wasn't unconsciously creating that sort of character, but maybe Alice really was just visiting here like Saki had.
まあ、ゆっくりしていきなさい。ここには美味しい紅茶もお茶菓子も、私という話し相手までいるんだから。
Yeah, you know, it's not all that bad right now. Are you just trying to get me involved because you're bored?
そんなことないよ。
Bullseye. Not that I knew how to wake up from here anyway. Fine then. But if I eat all this now, I get the feeling I won't be able to eat lunch again. Wait, so if I eat things in this world, that doesn't mean I'm sating my hunger in real life. Well, normally, the fuck?
何言ってるの？起きてる時は多分別腹。
Even she knows. You don't even remember when you're awake, so shut up. Damn! Annihilated! Alice was at a loss for words. Obviously, you have a separate stomach when you're awake, but if you stuff yourself in a dream, it affects your appetite in reality. What? But despite knowing that, I practically inhaled the pumpkin pie because it was so delicious. The slices were quite big, too. Oh, I'd be eating all that pumpkin pie.
だけど暇とか言ってるとあの子がそれならとか言ってフラッと来そうだね。
Okay, then we should not be talking about being bored ever again. Don't jinx us. It really felt like she might show up.
いやほら、私とかさきちゃんは困らされてるけど、トールあの子と話してるとき楽しそうじゃない？
I would like you to define what fun actually is. As if. I always thought I was usually frowning. But did I really look like I was having fun to Alice? Maybe my mouth had been smiling like Maya had said. If so, I got the feeling I was beyond help. Even though we were talking about her, she hasn't yet appeared. Oh, good. Good. To hide my self-loathing, I turned my gaze to the doors.
そうだね。ふわーっと湧いてきて、トールの後ろとか膝の上に乗ってたりするのに。
Even as she said this, it wouldn't have been strange for Maya to be standing behind Alice or me. That was how she seemed to like to appear, like just randomly. It's just, hey, I'm here now.
うまいね。
You don't need to call her. Alice nodded.
よし。だったらやっぱり私がトールの話し相手になってあげるね。さ、何でも来い。
Well, today, and then I just wake up. Thanks, but wouldn't it be better to wake up if I could?
そうは言うけど、ここと外って時間の流れ方違うだろうし、急いで起きても学校終わってるかもよ。
Well, so either way, oh, god damn it. Don't say that. That had actually happened to me before. Sometimes I only dreamt for a short while, but when I woke up, hours had passed. On the other hand, there were times when a huge amount of time passed in my dream, but then when I woke up, it had only been a little nap. I'd rather school not be over when I wake up. That's a whole lot of schoolwork missed. After I worried for a bit, I realized that Alice was looking at me with a very interested expression on her face. What's with that face? What?
トールの行ってる学校ってどんなとこかなって思ったの。
It's okay, you know. At those words, a thought suddenly struck me. Are you even familiar with school?
知ってるよ。
Well, she doesn't have her memories when she's awake, so... Why was that in question form? You look about the same age as me, so don't you go to school?
だから起きてる時のこととかわかんないんだってば。だから知ってるけど言ったこととか覚えてないんだって。
She's like, God damn it, don't you listen to me whenever I say words? I asked her if she was familiar with school specifically because I knew she didn't remember when she was awake. I gave a small sigh.
なんでいろいろその辺の話を聞かせてほしいと思ったんだけど。
Well, that's fine, I guess. School, huh? My school's a little strange, so I don't want you to go thinking it's normal.
変わってるって何が？今時番長がいて全国制覇を狙ってるとか変形してロボットが出てくるとか。
That is oddly very much specific. Where did she get this strange knowledge from? Nothing that removed from... Oh god, I accidentally clicked nothing. Hold on, we're going back. Nothing that removed from reality. It just has an escalator system. Escalator, Alice parroted. Before the main building that I'm attending now, there's an annex school building that you go to. Then you pretty much automatically advance to the main building.
つまり受験しなくていいの？
There's a token exam, but you need to take an entry exam in order to enter the annex building in the first place. You could say that exams just came 3 years early. Though it wasn't like Shuiko Academy that was that difficult of a school to enter. The facilities were good because it was 2 buildings, and the school traditions were pretty liberal. On the other hand, the punishments were severe if you got carried away, and the tuition wasn't cheap either. I think the school received money as part of a combined school test project, so the tuition is actually pretty affordable considering the quality of the facilities. But you said it was expensive. Oh God, what am I doing? What? Hold on. Yeah, see, he said it wasn't cheap. The fuck, Blizzard?
その本校って付属から上がってくるしか入れないの?
No, there's also an external exam, because not everyone who attends the annex building goes up to the main building. They accept outside applications. Club president moved here in April and been part of the group that took the external exam. At the same time, Asahi took the normal entrance exam.
6年も同じ顔ぶれで飽きないのかな?
Feel like that makes it people more comfortable, honestly. I heard that's part of what they're testing.
トールは飽きないの?
Not really. I've never really had that many friends anyway. Alice turned away from me, looking a little upset.
なんかごめんね.
Nothing to be sorry about. I chose this life. It bothers me more if you apologize so seriously like that. Why did Alice seem to be in more pain than me, even though I was the one without many friends?
けど、なんで友達いないの? 私とはもう友達になってるくらいなのに.
This is like a different sort. Because I'm always gloomy and frowning when I'm awake. Apparently that makes me difficult to approach. Plus, even though they didn't really know about my lucid dreaming, people were pretty aware that I had some sort of medical condition. Under those circumstances, you would need some magic in order to have a lot of friends.
それだけが理由じゃなくて、普段から学校でサキちゃんとイチャイチャしてるからじゃなくて?
What? I do not. I don't have a hard time believing that may be one of the reasons. An unsociable guy being taken care of by his little sister, with whom he may or may not be in love with. It just seemed like a hopeless case. At least I wouldn't want to approach someone like that, even though it was me.
だけど、少ないってことは友達いないわけじゃないんでしょ? それってどんな変わり者?
Oh, let me tell you. Don't call my friends weirdos. Although they are. Especially Tetsuya and Club Prez. And poor Asahi. She was normal except for the fact that she was all in a lovey-dovey relationship with Tetsuya. You want to hear about them?
私、友達ってトールしか記憶にないし.
Oh, sorry about that.
本気で謝るな. 起きればきっと友達たくさんいるんだからね.
You might. I wouldn't be surprised if you're a popular girl. That seemed likely considering her personality and looks. Is it really fun hearing about other people's friends? But Alice's gaze was urging me to talk, so I opened my mouth. Okay, well, there's this guy called Tetsuya who's been my friend since we were in the annex building. And then there's Asahi. You know, she's the normal girl, you know. But, you know, she's in a relationship with Tetsuya. And oh boy, let me tell you about Club Press. She's something else. I could hear the ticking of a clock, although I didn't know where it was. Even as I talked about Club Press and Tetsuya and other things having to do with school, Maya didn't appear. Oh.
Maya-chan, 来ないんだね.
Probably for the best. It's better if she doesn't, and it's not something for you to worry about. Despite having been thinking the same thing, Alice didn't need to say it out loud.
だけどね、Maya-chanってトールとサキちゃんのこと大好きっていうのは伝わってくるのよ.
Yeah, I got that impression.
まああの子の愛情表現はさすがに私もどうかなと思うんだけど.
Apparently, Maya's always been like that. Maybe not with how she shows it now, but her attitude was kind of always like that.
そうなんだ. それで.
Well, time to see if I can wake up. I interrupted Alice, who looked like she had more to say, and stood up. I just wanted her to ask more questions about Maya. And then we might have gotten answers. I didn't want to talk about Maya anymore. God damn it, you motherfucker. Give me answers. No matter how many sweets we ate from the table, it would suddenly be full again. It neither increased nor decreased. And even though I got full immediately, Alice was still eating.
もうちょっとおしゃべりしようよ。暇なんだってば。
Nope, time for me to get the fuck out of here. I collapsed in my classroom, you know. I'm sure I'm worrying everyone, so I want to hurry up and wake up.
そうだね。だって言うのに、のんきにここでお菓子食べながら女の子とおしゃべりしてましたなんてのはまずいか。
That'd be weird. Like you just wake up, holy shit, guys. I was hanging out with a very attractive woman and eating sweets. Better than me having a nightmare and worrying them even more, though. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Alice nodded as she licked the cream from her fingers. Then she stood up and tried the doorknobs. Those doors, which were always locked when we tried to wake up.
あれ？開いた。
Huh. Hey, fancy that. Apparently they weren't locked, because the knobs turned and opened without issue. Maybe I'll be able to wake up if I go through here? Oh, I don't...
次の夢の始まりだったりして。
Yeah, I don't like any of this. Don't say that. What if that really happens?
そうしたら最後までちゃんと付き合ってあげるから。ってなんで嫌そうな顔するの？私と一緒にいるのがそんなに嫌か。
Damn, you get aggressive like real fast, don't you? I'm just wary about the idea of this dream not ending, okay? If I'm going to see you anyway, I'd rather it wasn't in a troublesome dream like this.
それどういう意味？
I'm saying it would be nicer to just hang out somewhere normally. Being frightened of Maya and worrying about having a strange dream were entirely equally tiring. It would obviously be more fun not having to worry about something like that.
そうだね。
Maybe we'll meet up in the real world. Despite her words, Alice's voice sounded somewhat lonely.
まあまあいいからいいから。それじゃドーンと言ってみよう。
I was just about to say she's gonna probably like push us through. It seems like that's what she did. Wait a second, whoa! Before I had a chance to even question the expression I saw on Alice's face, she pushed me through the door. I took a step into the darkness. Okay, goodbye. And then there was nothing under my feet. I surrendered myself to the sensation of falling or rising or whatever it was. And then... That is a transition right there. God, I hate when you're like sleeping and then you wake up because you were falling in your sleep or something and you're like, and then you do that and you have like a mini heart attack and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. When I woke up, I found myself in a familiar place. The beds were divided by curtains, and there was the scent of chemicals I didn't smell very often. I was in a bed in the school infirmary, and those beds are not, they're not good. Glasses, where are my glasses? When I touched my face, my glasses weren't there. I hurriedly reached to the side, but hit my hand against the metal guard on the side of the bed.
起きた。はい、メガネ。
Hey! Thanks. The glasses were placed in my outstretched hand. Upon placing these just for show glasses on my face, I was finally able to relax and open my eyes. I blinked several times and noticed that there were fingerprints on my glasses. Then I realized who was there. For some reason, Club Prez was smiling and waving at me. Why? I'm surprised that you're the first one here that I see and not Saki or something. At first, I thought I was seeing things. I had collapsed during class, so I expected Saki to have shown up. See? See?
おはよう。目、覚めたみたいね。
I'm as awake as I'm gonna get. It was Club Prez without a doubt. Good morning. Club Prez nodded and poked my cheek. What are you doing?
暇つぶし。というか、なんか幸せそうな顔して寝ちゃっててつまんなかった？いい夢でも見てたの？
I mean, it wasn't a bad dream by any means. Yeah, well, for the first time in a while, it wasn't too bad. All I did was chat with Alice over tea. Maya wasn't anywhere to be seen. I call that a win-win. far from being a bad dream. There wasn't even any self-loathing involved, so you could easily call it a happy dream.
最近のトールは毎日うなされてるってさきちゃんは言ってたのに。
Yeah, it's been pretty awful. It's nice to have a dream that's not a nightmare. Well, this wasn't a nightmare. I didn't know if she understood or not. More importantly, Club Press, stop poking my cheek. What if somebody sees you?
大丈夫よ。他に誰もいないし。先生も今出てっちゃって留守番任されてるのよ。
Did you tell her you were going to be taking care of things? That's still not a reason to be poking my cheek. Stop it! She just keeps doing it. When I brushed her hand aside, Club Press quickly stopped. So you found someone who you knew and decided to kill time by gazing at their sleeping face.
そうそう。さきちゃんが結構飽きないって言ってたじゃない？
I know that. Oh my god. I remember her saying something to that effect, but that had nothing to do with my poking my cheek.
それにしてもトールってば寝顔は結構可愛いのね。
I mean, I am an attractive man. I mean, look at me. Hold on. We're gonna... Well, can I do this? Yeah, look at me. I'm a badass looking. Club Press put her hand on the bed and leaned toward me as I laid there. Well, what are you doing?
保健室に男と女が二人きり。しかもベッドまであるし、何か間違いが起きたらどうするつもりかしら。
God, you are just the teasiest tease that ever teased, aren't you? Her expression and words made my heart race, but I sighed to hide some of my feelings.
何その態度。なんかバカにされてるような気がしてくるんだけど。
Oh, if you could only tell what's going on with my heart. I was, judging from your personality, you would never risk being found out.
あら、もしかしたら見られちゃうかもしれない緊張感がたまらないタイプかもよ、私。
Ooh. Well, you into some, Then please get your thrills from with someone other than me, alright? I hid the fact that my heart was pounding and bluntly turned her down. She gave me a disappointed, sullen expression. To put some distance between us, I sat up and leaned against the metal headboard of the bed. So why are you in the infirmary, Club Prez? You don't look like there's anything wrong with you. Being there was one thing, but since she didn't have a book or anything, I figured she'd just get bored.
あら、女の子が風邪でもないのに保健室にいる理由なんてそんなにあるわけないじゃない。
You're cutting class, aren't you?
女の子の日よ。
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Because she's like, when she said that, it was so matter-of-factly, I failed to do a parry check and froze instead. Seeing this, Club Prez giggled. She got me good.
いやね、冗談よ冗談。トールの言う通り、サボりでいいのよ。
I figured it was kind of a bit of both, all things considered. Then don't make any weird fucking jokes.
ごめんね。だけど、仕返ししたくなっちゃったんだもの。仕方ないじゃない。
God, it's just like tease after tease, and it's driving me nuts. Even so, she didn't have to do it like that. And no matter how non-athletic you are, I don't think it's right for you to skip PE so much.
なるほど、病弱キャラ。ハーフの優等生が病弱ってツボだと思わないかしら。
If I didn't know any better, I probably would have thought so. Actually, I really did wish I wasn't so familiar with that. What it was like to be sickly. Then I wouldn't be able to I would be able to have a bittersweet time in club hanging around my beautiful blonde club president.
あら、なんでそんな悲しそうな顔してるの？
I just got sad real fast. Because of you.
私って悪い女ね。
I figured that out a long time ago. Is what I would have liked to say. Even if you are an honor student, if you skip PE, you won't get good grades. What will you do if you fail PE? If you fail, you literally... The only time you fail PE is if you don't show up. And that's literally what you're doing.
落としたらどうするじゃなくて、 落とすならその分をどうすればいいかで考えればいいのよ。ないものは望んじゃいけないのよ。
Eh. This is why I sometimes thought Club Prez was scary. If she didn't have something, she didn't needlessly ask for it or depend on other people for it. She also didn't hesitate to sacrifice things if necessary. Doing things half-assed is easier, isn't it? This was something of a personal slogan of hers. That's not to say she actually did anything half-assed. Rather than aiming for perfection from the start, she always assessed what was possible and what wasn't and dealt with things on a case-by-case basis. This was what she meant by half-assed, quote, Space Marines. Why she was living like this, how she was living like this, it was all beyond me. I had a hunch that something must have happened for her to become like this. Like everybody is how everyone's shaped in their life. There had to be a reason for such proactive ambition. Well, I guess it has nothing to do with me.
そうそう、大丈夫よ。トールたちに迷惑かけるようなことはしないから。
That wasn't what I meant, but I didn't feel any need to correct her. After all, I had my hands full with just dealing with my lucid dreams and my nightmares and all the other bullshit I gotta deal with. I didn't have any intention of sticking my nose in and out of sheer curiosity and getting burned.
それにいつも言ってるけど、トールってばそんないろいろ気にしてるとハゲるわよ。
I'm already getting bald spots, you see, right here. I'll shave my head then. Ha!
それもったいないわ。きっと似合わないし、何よりサキちゃんが泣くわよ。
Can we like take a moment? Hold on. Can you see this face without hair? It's just gone. Like, yeah, I wasn't so sure about that. There were quite a few bald guys in her family's company. She was probably used to bald men, so.
それで、トールこそなんでこんなところで寝てたの
？Pretending I passed out, woman. I collapsed in my classroom. If I were faking, then I'd be a pretty shameful person, wouldn't I?
痛いわね。保健の先生は疲労だろうから寝かしておけばいいって言ってたけど、何？つまり寝不足とか？
No, I get plenty of sleep. I just didn't get any rest because of my dreams. It was more of a mental fatigue than a physical one.
ああ、ルシッドドリームのせいで頭は置きっぱなしになってたのね。
Always active. Pretty much. It wasn't like this was something out of the ordinary for me. But now that I was awake, I couldn't just lie there forever. So I moved to get out of bed, but Club Prez pushed me back down. Excuse me? It was a light push, but I still ended up lying on the bed. Club Prez?
どうせもうすぐお昼休みよ。それまでゆっくりしてなさい。
Alright. I won't like it. She admonished me with an unbelievably gentle smile. It was such a gentle smile that it made me hesitate to ask if there was some reason behind it. My words were caught in my throat.
悪い夢のせいで寝てないんでしょ？眠れなくても私がここにいてあげるからゆっくり休みなさい。
Well, at least she's still caring. Thanks. Other than some mild embarrassment, I had no reason to refuse. The bed was cozier than I thought, and the room was warm and comfortable too. On top of that, Club Prez smelled nice, and it made me want to rest.
あら、素直じゃない。
And back to the teasing. Sometimes I am. I mean, after all, I'm in such a warm room with a beautiful senpai saying she's going to stay by my side. Yeah. Club Prez blinked, slightly taken aback at my words. But in the next moment, she'd regained her cool.
その美人の先輩に何かしてほしいことはあるかしら？
I think
お休みのキスとか。
I could go for that. We're gonna keep riding this train for a second. No thanks. Never mind. The train, we've got off the train real fast. I imagined that and my face turned red again. I couldn't deny that I wondered for a moment if she really would do it. Then I remembered that the recent dream I'd had with Saki asking me to kiss her. I heaved a sigh and settled into the bed.
まあいいわ。ゆっくり休みなさい。
For some reason, Club Prez's voice was incredibly kind and she didn't tease me anymore. Fucking off that train real fast, man. Just as soon as lunch break started, Saki came into the infirmary. Hey! Everyone loves you. I thought it was too soon for her to show up if she stopped by the classroom first, but turned out Club Prez had texted her.
弥生先輩が兄さんを捕まえておいてくれて助かりました。
Catching?
いつもご飯いただいているし、このくらいお安いご用よ。
So her behavior earlier was to stop me from escaping. Ah, catching. Got you.
タールってば、ちょっと優しくしてあげただけで、あんな素直になっちゃって。可愛いったらないわ。
You also tempted me with kisses. I never got no kisses. My face turned bright red. I wanted to roll over and die. I mean, run away for having looked so childish in front of Club Prez for even a moment.
兄さん、なんだかんだで美人に弱いですから。
Yeah, and I'm fucking surrounded by him. Even though she didn't know the details, Saki looked at me coldly.
また悪魔にうなされてたわけでもないみたいなんで、そこは良かったと思いますけど。
Yeah, it's a pretty nice one this time, so nothing. Yeah, I was just lazing around in that room with Alice. I replied carelessly. Why did I say that? Then realized what I had said. Club Prez tilted her head as if she were saying Alice. Oh, crap. Saki let out a like she didn't care as the air in the room grew suddenly strangely tense.
それで、兄さん、アリスって女は結局どこの誰なんですか?
Well, this fucking face right now. Saki gave me her biggest smile. I could sense the danger in the air. I was as good as dead. I don't know either. I could more or less understand why Saki would become involved in a dream where Maya appeared, but I didn't have a clue why that dream could have Alice, whom neither Saki nor I ever knew.
そのアリスって誰よ? 不思議の国のアリス?
Yes, actually, yes. This game references that a lot. No, she said she doesn't actually know anything about herself. According to her, she disappears in dreams. Man, if I wasn't just with my friends, I'd sound like a crazy person. Club Prez nodded and slurped her tea. What bad manners.
というか、あの女って何? なんでさきちゃんがその辺気にしてるのかちょっと気になるんだけどにゃ。
I'm very worried why the music hasn't turned back on yet. Club Prez looked like a cat who was about to be done in by her curiosity.
兄さんが話してもよければどうぞ。
I was about to ask Saki what I should do when she decided to cast me adrift. I couldn't get too much into detail, but Club Prez, this is just about a dream, okay? That's all it is.
ねえ、もちろん分かってるわ。
That's it. Just a dream. I wondered about that, but I roughly explained the dreams I recently had. The nightmare I'd had, Alice and the nightmare flowers. I didn't reveal the contents of the dream, but I talked about the fact that Saki and I had the same dream. I made a point to not tell Club Prez about Maya or the finer details of Saki's dream.
同じ部屋に毎度出てくる女の子ね。そのどっちもトールは最近見始めたのよね。
Ooh, this is like a sick track right now. Yeah, I'd never seen the room or Alice before. At least I had no memory of having seen them since I started having lucid dreams. But my lucid dreams were an after effect of overcoming an earlier problem I'd once had. Because I tried not to remember that time, I couldn't say with certainty that I'd never seen them before. It was possible that Alice and that room had both appeared in my dreams of Maya a long time ago.
それよりも今興味深いのは、さきちゃんとトールが同じ夢を見ていたってことよね。
Yeah, that's the crazy part. While it wasn't obvious, Club Press smiled, clearly amused by this.
同じような夢を見ただけの偶然でしょ？夢は寝てる間に見る記憶の整理って言うじゃないですか。
I think dreams are just your brain playing tricks on you. Because of me, Saki was quite knowledgeable about dreams, so she quickly dismissed the notion even though she experienced the shared dream firsthand.
まあね、私もその辺は分かってるんだけど、それでももしもっていうのがあるじゃない。
Is it really?
ないとする証拠はない程度かしら。
Club Press shrugged. Apparently she had little intention of defending her crazy theory. This track is like super fire right now though.
ただ、夢の研究って実は思ったよりも全然進んでないのよ。それに、トールみたいに見た夢のことを覚えている人なんてほとんどいないじゃない？
And even I might have dreams that I don't remember. There was no guarantee that I was remembering every dream I had when I slept. Aside from the lucid dreams I had, there might also be dreams I'd completely forgotten.
そういうこと。で、世界中には60億人オーバー。それに、犬も夢を見るとか言われてるし、動物まで含めればそれ以上。それだけの数、夢は毎晩見られているのに、みんなそれを覚えているわけじゃないし、わざわざ夢の確認なんて誰もしないじゃない。
At this point, Saki seemed to realize what Club Prez was getting at.
まさか弥生先輩はただ単に覚えていないだけで同じ夢を見ている人同士がいるかもしれないなんて言うんですか？
その通り。だってそれが全くなかったなんて証拠もどこにもなかったじゃない。
I guess it was conjecture at best, but we had at least one case that proved it to be possible. But this time there's evidence from Saki and myself. Not only that, but I had lucid dreams, so I could remember my dreams better than most people.
そういうこと。これでそのアリスもどこかにいて夢のことを覚えてたらこの説の信憑性が高まるのにね。
But she doesn't remember being awake, but I imagine but she remembers everything in the dreams. Not that you can reach a conclusion based on circumstantial evidence like our anecdotal accounts. Club Press seemed to agree.
そうは言いますけど、あのアリスって女だって兄さんの理想が形になった夢の中の人じゃないんですか？
I don't think so. She does seem like she's an actual person. Like, I thought so too, but just now she flat out told me that she wasn't. Yeah, like she told us, but even before that I thought, she wasn't. I didn't think she was like just a figment of our fucking dream imagination world brains. I still believe that she might be someone created by my mind as a counterforce to Maya.
当たり前でしょ？それが兄さんの夢である以上素直に認めるわけがないじゃない。
防衛意識だったらそりゃトールのことを守るために違うって言うわよね。その方がトールに都合がいいもの。
I have no one on my side right now. While I did consider that possibility, it was a shock hearing it come from the two of them.
で、そのアリスはトールにとってどうだった？苦手なタイプなの？
Why are you asking this question? I thought a little. I definitely didn't dislike her. She was rather boisterous and sometimes a little too energetic, but I had a lot of people around me who weren't always the most upfront. In that sense, I certainly didn't dislike how open she was.
どうやらお気に入りと見たわ。
Oh, just because I don't respond for like a second.
さっきも夢に出てきたって言うけど、一体夢の中で何をしてたのやら。
Don't have any funny ideas. I didn't do anything. Besides, what would I do in a dream anyway?
それこそ夢みたいに気持ちがいいことなんじゃないの？
Club Prez was straight to the point without her usual grin. Slightly appalled, Saki and I looked at her in silence. She just tilted her head.
だって最高のバーチャルでしょ。所詮夢なんだし、私ならもうゲーム感覚で好き勝手するわよ。 まさかしてないの？
Saki's frigid stare hurt. Far from meeting that stare, I blocked her gaze with the palm of my hand.
兄さん
I think you and I have very different set of values. I haven't done it that much.
あらやだ聞いた？そんなにですってってことは少しはしたのよね。
Done it with you and you and Shut up! I can't help it. I'm a guy too, you know. I can't control my dreams perfectly, and I haven't recently, and I'm getting by somehow.
へえ。ふーん。
Club Prez was smiling right at me while Saki gave me a cold gaze from the side. Two very different contrasting emotions. I couldn't say that I hadn't seen Saki or Club Prez in my dreams, but I was prepared to take the knowledge of what I'd done and how far I'd gone with them to my grave.
次はそのアリスさんがお相手ですか。そうなの。
Haven't done the diddly with that yet.
現実の相手をどうにかするだけじゃ物足りなくなってついに想像上の理想にまで。
Hey, fuck you, alright? Saki's icy attitude and Club Prez's crocodile tears made me want to cry. I think there's a little bit of a misunderstanding here.
ま、確かにトールの夢にしては乙女チックすぎる夢かしらとは思うわ。
Club Prez's fake tears stopped immediately as she said that. Saki had a sullen look.
だってトールが思い描く部屋にしては随分少女趣味というか女の子っぽいじゃない？深層心理とかまで行くと知らないけど。
そういえばお茶会の準備が整ってる綺麗な赤とか黒のお部屋だったかしら。
Yes, and I would not have done that. Maya had been messing with Saki, so Saki didn't have a moment to take a good look at the room. It seems she only vaguely remembered it. Yeah, it was more or less like that. And even though it was cute, it had surprisingly pragmatic furnishings. It definitely wasn't to my taste. The twisting vines, the nightmare roses, and the scent they gave off, with the exception of the smell of the forest from my trauma, everything else was stuff that made no sense in my dream.
その上、夢の中に出てきた女の子がアリスよ、アリス。どんなイメージよ。
Stop it! Club Prez pointed at me and guffawed.
確かに夢だからって不思議の国のアリスをイメージするのは兄さんらしくないわね。
What if I'm just really into the story? Really into the story. Jesus. I know about Alice in Wonderland too, you know. I think I'd seen Alice in the Blue Dress in a cartoon or something. I hadn't seen the more recent movie, and I hadn't read the book either. I don't think I've seen the recent, was it the Johnny Depp ones? I haven't seen those. But anyway, but that was the extent of my knowledge. It didn't make enough of an impression that I connected Alice with dreams.
その辺がトールの抑圧された趣味ってんじゃないって主張したいんなら、夢が混ざってるのを受け入れておいた方が都合がいいんじゃない？
Yeah, maybe, but it was certainly nicer to imagine that would be the case rather than my repressed desires had manifested in the form of a person in my dreams. But what if the dream sharing was just a product of my constant hesitation?
万が一その夢の混戦っていうのがあり得たとして、なんでそんなことになったのかしら。
I feel like Maya's like the connection to all this shit. Huh?
だから兄さんと私だけならともかく、どうしてそのよく知らない女の夢が混ざってるの？
I had been wondering about that too. I don't know either, but Club Prez, if our dream sharing is real, then doesn't that just make things even stranger?
ええ、その通りよ。何？今更気づいたの？
It's just duh. The beautiful blonde in front of me plopped the last lotus root of her chikazuni into her mouth and munched away at it. Why are you saying stuff that just makes the situation even weirder?
だったら目の前に転がってる悩みの方を相談してよ。ほら、何か隠してることあるんでしょ？トールとサキちゃんだけの秘密とか。
I have no secrets. Shut up. No, I can't say it. I don't want to. I refuse.
じゃあ悩み事増やしちゃったってしょうがないじゃない。
That doesn't make any sense.
だってそっちの方が面白そうじゃない。興味本位と好奇心よ。私は殺されるまで猫でいるつもりよ。
And so, she has 9 lives, so she was never killed. With her teacup in hand, Club Prez let out a belch even though she hadn't eaten that much. Fucking very ladylike.
そんな猫、いつかきっと好奇心をこじらせて死ぬわ。
9 lives. Saki, 9 lives.
それも自分で選んだ結果よね。
Club Prez smiled as if to say she was fine with that. Seeing that smile made me want to object, even though it was a refreshing smile. Jesus Christ. It's just like, so your dreams are dreams, and then the dreams are dreams, and they things, and who's Alice? Why does she exist? She's another person, but she's not. But she is. And why is she here? It's just, oh boy. You know, this is definitely one of those games where it just keeps throwing more. It answers very few. I know I said this last time. Very few keeps giving you more questions, but by the end of it, you're just your mind's gonna be blown. I'm expecting it, and I can't. Oh.